Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today is going to be all about Zelot. We've got a whole bunch of Zelot games, starting off with Zelot versus Bisu. We're going to be shining a spotlight on this ASL contender who has been giving us some great games in the past, but hasn't been getting much attention lately. He hasn't been in the KCM. He hasn't been on the channel for a little while, but he has been playing a lot of games on ladder recently in 2025, so we're gonna get into that today. We've got some scan games. We've even got a game versus Ssak, but Bisu is gonna be opening up this series for us. And what opener does he have in mind? Looks like he's gonna throw down a Forge as he spotted that pool, and will be blocking the natural, trying to prevent a drone from coming out here for free and just getting that hatchery underway. So looks like the hatch has been sent over towards this third. Unfortunately, well, Zelot's figured it out now. He's seeing with the Overlord. Maybe, did he actually see that before? He might have seen that just a moment ago. Yeah, he should have seen that before he dropped the third. So he knows that he's expanding towards his opponent. I think we might be seeing some sort of pressure from him. I doubt that he would put his hatchery closer to the Protoss base and then not try to go for some sort of Hydralisk bust or something like that. If you want to play for a long game, you're definitely going to expand away from the Protoss. It's pretty tough on this map to get this expansion though. If you're expanding like this and you get this base, my gosh, is it a long reinforcement path. Like if you have a bunch of units at your third and your natural gets attacked, you have to run so far, and a lot of your stuff is going to get clumped coming around this corner. So speaking from experience, I can tell you that is a recipe for getting smashed by Storm. Let's say you've got a bunch of Hydras behind the wall here, or you're fighting and some Templar and Zealots come up there. You come back this way and a Templar standing there, boom, you get stormed. You lose like 8 Hydras, 10 Hydras. Basically, you lose the game. So, Zelot opting for this closer base. We'll see how that pans out for him. He's got quite a few lings out, and I don't see anything in the wall. Oh boy, this is going to be a tight hold for Bisu. Bisu blocking the cannon pretty well. He does target down one probe, but it looks like the cannon will fall, and 4 lings will get into the main. Already about 2 probes have gone down as well, so this natural is looking a bit cooked right now. Can he actually get this Zealot out and keep himself alive? Zelot is in a great position in this game. He's still chasing the probe across the map, and only one Zealot in this main base is going to get completely surrounded and taken out. Beautiful surround there by our Zerg player. It's a little bit awkward to say that Zelot surrounded the Zealot, but that's exactly what he did. Hydralisk Den has been spotted, so he knows the follow-up. No surprise there. No surprise that he's going to try and get some Hydras going across the map. Try to get a bust rolling. But, you know, now that it's been spotted, maybe he could try to drone out of this and build just a couple of Hydras to deal with any sort of Corsair. The Corsair is going to be super late. With these lings running around inside the main, you're not going to be able to mine gas properly. You're going to have to be chasing this a lot. You're going to be, you know, moving your probes around to try and prevent any probe death. And you're just not going to be quick on getting that out. And instead, he's going to throw down the Citadel, which is interesting. Citadel is great against a Hydralisk bust. It is extremely good. Oh my gosh, 2 more probes go down. That is rough. Another ling falls, but 2 more probes fall in the main base, and this is getting to be kind of desperate for Bisu. He's taken a lot of damage, and Hydras are going to start to come out. He can pressure the wall. He doesn't have to fully commit. 2 more gateways down in the natural, so he's trying to hide the fact that he's Gonna be pumping out a lot of Zealots. He even kills the Overlord in the front, so that makes things a bit easier for him to get a DT out to just save himself. If he kills that Overlord... Oh, this Overlord is actually kind of clutch, though. That Overlord being right there makes it so that you can't just save this with a DT. 3 cannons at the front. Zealot speed is on the way, but it just started. It's pretty late. He got that Citadel a long time ago, but he's been busy chasing down these Lings in the main, and Bisu is struggling, guys. He is really struggling while the Hydra number is growing, and I tell you what, Zealot will bust you wide open very, very quickly with his signature. Look at this. He's going to line them all up, get his Hydras perfectly in a line, and he's going to pull the trigger here in a moment, start to break down these cannons. Quite a few Zealots are out, but the Zealot speed is not done, so they can't just run out and suddenly block the Hydras. They have to slowly shamble out in front and try to block, and he's not going to be able to stop this cannon from going down. That goes down immediately. Now the wall is going to be destroyed for sure. Diving on top of the Hydras with all the Zealots. I mean, this is killing off quite a few Hydras. It's not doing too bad, but once the Zealots are all gone, then what's going to block for the cannons coming up here in a moment? Well, back at home, Zealot has added a bunch more drones. He's added more hatcheries as well, so it seems that he's not fully committed to busting this open. Instead, he's going to take the wall, and the forge actually finishes upgrading. So he's got +1 done. Zealots are pumping out. There's only 3 gateways, and now that one's gone, there's only 2 remaining. A Stargate will follow up behind this, but Bisu is in a tough spot. Similar supply or similar worker counts on either side. Not a good sign. We should have an evolution chamber coming up here pretty soon. Okay, there's one in the main, excuse me, and lurker upgrade will start as well. There's a potential to get locked into your base on this map, and in fact, even onto 3 bases, you could end up getting locked in. Hydra production will have to restart now that Zealots are out on the map. Well, it doesn't have a great Sim City to work with at his 3rd base, and so he'll rely on all of these Hydras popping out just in the nick of time to kind of save him from this counterattack. And it looks like it will. Overlords are being taken out, and he's actually stuck for a moment. Can't build anything. Only has 2 Hydras in his natural. This could be some good counterattack damage. Oh my gosh, I can't believe he didn't commit there. Right, he's gonna dive on top of the Hydras that came to reinforce. More Zealots coming up, but they're all trickling out 2 at a time. It's kind of a weak trickle of Zealots that's coming this Zerg's way. I can't believe he's not going to come into the natural, just try to run up this ramp, kill some of these Hydras, but I guess he would make lurkers on the ramp. It's just a moment ago when he was supply blocked, he definitely couldn't. Like right now, even now, he can't make lurkers, so breaking up the ramp was definitely a possibility. It's unfortunate he didn't go for that, but he's kept his Zealots alive. He's retained that Zealot number. And so maybe he'll be able to leverage that with a big Dragoon force a little bit later on with some storms as well. He's added on a lot of gateways. He has that 50 probe number. He can really start to pump off Vate gates. But this is so many Hydras, and there's going to be a ton of lurkers out in a moment. The Robo just started. And so soon we're going to have some observers, but it's going to take some time. 45 drones, that's a perfect number on 3 bases to pump off of 6 hatcheries. He's only got 5 hatcheries at the moment, so he's a little bit light on overall production. He's missing out on 3 larvae, right? He's not getting that extra larva, and so he's going to start to bank up a lot of resources. Even as he's hitting his macro, he's still going to bank up a lot of resources. He's going to be spending most of that into lurkers and Hydras, Overlords as well, of course. A little bit supply blocked at the moment. There we go. He will unblock himself. But he does need to get some more hatcheries going, and I'm assuming he's going to try and put a hatchery up somewhere outside on the map, but at the same time, he's trying to set up a containment on 3 bases. He's going to prevent Bisu from pushing out, but he will allow him to take this 3rd. Drone heading up to take that 3rd. He has brought some Hydras to defend that and make sure that that is successful. He's able to get that 3rd online. But it's looking a bit flimsy, the defenses, as he's got most of his Hydras out on the map. Only a few lurkers are here and ready to defend. This containment might be broken a little bit early on. Just doesn't have the production. Again, just not enough production on the side of Zealot. He needs more hatcheries, guys. He's gonna go into a Queen's Nest, which is not typical for a containment play. If you're just gonna contain your opponent, the goal is just to starve them out before they get onto 4 bases. So it's not really common to try to get into Hive. Looks like he will kill off the remainder of the Zealots. So now he can start to mass expand. Start to throw down a whole bunch of bases all over the place. First observers are going to help Bisu to try and push up this ramp. He loses a Templar, though, before even casting a Storm. You know, Storm in the back line, trying to hit some of the Hydras as well as Lurkers, but hasn't been going so very well so far. Bisu going to come down and take this 3rd base. And Zealot just going to set up on this high ground. I would have expected, actually, not a Queen's Nest, but I would have expected drop play from Zealot. He's much more that style of player. 3 Zealots make their way up towards this top center base. Is he actually going to lose that? That would be very unfortunate. Seems like with these Hydras coming up and 1 Lurker as well, he should be able to save that. Should be able to try to save that base. It looks like he will. Although the DT is going to get a lot of damage. Still hasn't transferred drones up into that top center. Adding on a few more drones to this number. You want to get up to about 55 on 4 bases to fully take advantage of the 4 base economy. But you need, again, more hatcheries to make that work. Currently, triple upgrades on the way. Hive coming as well. One thing about the Hive is once you have some... Oh, he's pulling the drones. He thinks there's some Templar in there, but it's not. It's just Zealots. One thing about the Hive is once you get the Defiler out, it's much easier to hold these containments. It's just getting there is the problem. Getting to Hive takes a long time. It's very likely that the Protoss will time their push out, their final push, right before the Defiler is done. Like right before all the upgrades are done and the Defiler consume is ready, that's when they're just gonna hit you. They're gonna come out and break through everything just a second before they absolutely have to, and everything's gonna fall apart. The Defiler will arrive and not be able to do anything about the bus. So we'll see if that ends up happening for Zealot. He's got still quite a few Lurkers in the background here, but the army of Bisu is starting to break through. Wow, a lot of Zealots went down there to all these Lurker spines. The +2 being highly effective taking them down. But in the end, it seems like Bisu just barely going to break out. Maybe not. More Lurkers arrive, more Lings arrive as well, and the Dragoons are going to start to fall. The Lurkers set back up on high ground. Those are very clumped. Be nice to get a Storm on that. Doesn't have it yet. The Spire is going to finish up in a moment. Hasn't taken his 4th gas. That is a big problem right now for Zealot. That 4th gas is gatekeeping him from being able to put out enough Lurkers and Hydras to deal with this push out. If he had that gas online for a bit longer, there it is, he's got it now, he would be able to make a bunch more Lurkers and really put the stranglehold on this base. Would also be able to produce some very important Scourge to be able to get rid of this as well. This pesky shuttle, which is going to hit the main again. DT heading up north. Actually gonna get quite a few kills as well while this shuttle is distracting. Okay, he does notice that. So he gets rid of the DT. Will gun down the shuttle as well. So he's managed to hold on everywhere. But will he be able to hold on to the front? This is the big play from Bisu. Gonna try to break up this hill moments before Defiler is done. Wait, there's no Defiler's mound. I guess he didn't even decide to go for that. Instead, just getting the hive for upgrades. He doesn't even have, wait, he does have, okay, he does have crackling upgrade at least. Yeah, these are attacking a little bit too fast for just a regular Ling. Those are definitely crackling. There's some more Zealots rallying forward. Looks like just barely, almost gonna break through. Man, it's so close. Another round of units makes its way forward. But I think that Bisu has done it. He just barely managed to, wait a minute. Okay, more lurkers make their way to the front. Is he actually going to be able to hold this? Oh my goodness, Zealot macroing like a god, just barely, maybe. Okay, I think he's actually got it. He's out. He's out. Lurkers are not done, and Bisu will push forward. There we go. He's managed to move out onto the map, but it's very important that he gets a 4th base online. So I don't think we'll see a massive counterattack just yet. I think instead we'll see Zealots and this army get sent down to the bottom right, and he's gonna try and get that extra base online. Very important that he gets more income right now because he is drying out. His main and natural are about to be gone. And Zealot gonna get another base online in the top right. So it'll be a game of counterattacks. If you can get some Lings down here while the army is kind of out of position, that would be fantastic. Just prevent that base from going down. However, losing this center left is unforgivable. You can't lose this right now. We cannot be losing that. And Templar coming forward, casting some storms. Hydras are going to try to run up and get some of these snipes as well, but a lot of them are going to get picked off. Lings on the left-hand side, buying some time for those lurkers to deal their damage. That's quite a lot of Zealots in this army. No counterattack going down to bottom right, but Bisu hasn't even set up cannons or any Nexus down there, which is a bit unfortunate for him. He really does need to get that extra base online, or he'll be on 1 base. In fact, he is on 1 base mining now. Ling counterattack heading down to bottom right. This is great stuff for Zealot. All he needs to do is just keep reacting to this army and where it's headed, prevent it from getting on top of one of these bases and killing it off, and then he will be golden, as Bisu will just mine out soon on 1 base, whereas Zealot still technically on 4 bases. And in fact, a 5th base is coming up. So as long as he keeps these bases rolling and prevents that base from coming up for Protoss, he will end up getting into a winning position. Lurkers need to be spread out a little bit more. This is a very important defense. That's a lot of Zealots. Where are the observers? Observers are coming forward. They're going to spot all of these lurkers, and now he's on top of the production. Zealot gonna have to pull all of his drones maybe up to the top right while he comes in from the flank to try and clear this army. Lurkers getting into position. A great storm there on the backside, clearing out a lot of these forces. All the drones go down, but still some 43 do remain. 1 lone Archon making its way into the top right-hand corner. I don't know what that's all about. Gonna try and snipe some of these observers now with these Scourge that are just popping out. Actually manages to do so, and the Zealots go down as well. So he's surrounded the army and he's killed it, but he's lost a lot of his drones in the process. Still could transfer some out of a few of these bases. Like this base is a little bit oversaturated for how low the overall mineral income is, or how low the mineral patches are, excuse me. You might want to take some of these drones out of there and send them over to the 3rd base, but the army's been reset, and you can see it's not growing nearly as much as it was. The army is very small for Bisu. He has a supply lead, but it's a very thin margin that he's standing on at the moment, and Lings are out in force. I think they probably got +2 by now. 2-2 is done. So 2-2 Lings are scary against 2-2 Zealots. Yeah, it's gonna be a hard battle if this Protoss manages to win. Unfortunately, he didn't take the safer route of just going for that fourth base and defending it properly. Instead, he tried to end the game. And I don't think he's done a good enough job. Some more drones are going to pop out. Going back up to 54. That might be a mistake. You got to realize what kind of a situation you're in. And that 45 drones is fine as long as you survive. As long as you survive this moment, you're going to win this game. DTs are out and actually killing a lot of the lurkers. Oh my gosh, he's sniping the lurkers down with these DTs and then overwhelming the reinforcements. Zelot being a little bit slow to react. He's not bringing his forces together to actually surround and kill this final army. The supply lead is deepening. This supply is getting higher for Bisu. 30 supply lead now. Okay, 20 supply lead. Here comes the Lings. They're going to ravage this army. The Lings are just way too good at this point. Archon going to go down. Zealots are in very low number. Lings are just battling through the Zealot numbers. Oh gosh. Storms are going to be massive. All those drones that were just reproduced by Zelot are going to be wiped out. And man, has Zelot thrown this one. I think all he needed to do was just make units and he would have been able to win this game, but I think he might have thrown his advantage. Lurker's gonna burrow here. There is one overlord, so that DT should finally go down. The base may be killed at top center, but I think the entirety of this army will end up falling. These Templar coming up from behind, they really should be burrowed, or these lurkers should be burrowed and just kill these Templar for free. Okay, he is gonna get all the storms out and make an Archon as well. So this has gone pretty well for Bisu, and he's gonna kill this base, and the base in the top right is not defended. These lurkers over here, what are they doing? They're just sitting in the middle of the map rather than going up into top right and defending that base. I can't believe this is happening. Zelot, is he actually gonna lose this game? Bisu on the cusp of victory. There's a bunch of Lings over here as well. You need everything together to just beat this last army. Oh my god, that 13 kill Archon almost gonna get massive splash damage onto these drones. A few Hydras popping out. They could actually kill the Archon if they target properly. Target the Archon. There we go. He does get that Archon. He gets some lurkers up onto the high ground. Looks like he will end up saving this base. So many drones have just been transferred up to top center. The mining is not great, but it is mining nonetheless. Will Bisu actually send out a probe and take this base now? He's got Zelot against the ropes. He's got Zelot on his back foot, trying to defend everywhere and just keep himself alive. But all he's doing is just still rallying units across the map, just making more Templar and Zealots and just trying to end this game right here, right now. He sees the mining over at 12 o'clock and he realizes that there is still a lot of income for his Zerg opponent. In fact, seeing all of these Lings pop out, I think he's going to be feeling a little bit bad about that. He's going to be feeling a little bit dissatisfied with this result, I would say. +3 armor is done now, and we're still sitting here on 2-2. +3 attack for the Hydras. He's going to cut through these Zealots very quickly with the Lurker Spines and Hydra attacks. So Lings are going to be able to block in the front, and there's just no way to get through this. There is no way that Bisu can puncture this defense any longer, and the army coming up from behind, I think, is going to be the killing blow, guys. Zelot has done it. He's surrounded and crushed Bisu's army. It was looking a bit dicey for a moment, and as all the observers go down, there's truly no hope remaining, and Bisu will have to tap out. GG. There it is, guys. Zelot takes game number 1. Game number 2 is going to be Ssak spawning in the top center versus Zelot over in this center right. Purple Zerg. Great color. Love to see it. For the Zerg, I feel like this might be the best. Either red Zerg or purple Zerg. Orange is not bad either. I like to rock the orange trunks, being a Saiyan. The Kame House trunks. But I digress. We've got Ssak, who has been a recent hero in KCM, putting out some excellent games over in that tournament. And so I'm excited to see what he can pull out against Zelot, or what Zelot will pull out against Ssak. Ssak took down a bunch of incredibly accomplished pro players in that KCM, and some of them I would put much higher than Zelot on my tier list. However, this is a best of one, and Zelot is incredibly good at finding that one all-in that will take you out. That one play that will be able to end your game early. We'll see if he can make that happen versus Ssak. This is really his specialty. Zelot's specialty is this matchup, I think. That sort of style of Zerg play that most of the highest tier players don't really subscribe to. Most of the strongest players in the world are more, you know, the defensive Zerg style, but certainly not Zelot. And he is going to have to defend early on in this game because a Marine has come directly across the map, and with this SCV building the bunker is going to cause some problems, cause some serious issues for Zelot. Now, the bunker is almost done. He gets in. Oh boy, that's bad. Lings are going to run by. One Ling dies. And now the one Marine outside of the bunker can run forward and try to kill this. Nice extractor there. Really good, smart extractor is actually going to save that one drone. Ling dies, but it did manage to pick off one Marine, so that's something. See if he can hold this off. Some more Lings are going to pop out. He hasn't opted for speed just yet. Has how many Lings now? 8 Lings. There's only 2 Marines in the bunker. There's 1 Marine outside the bunker. Coming out here to just get some little bit of damage on these Lings. That's some smart moves. I think with these Lings popping out, he's going to go. And he's going to go and try to get the kill. Back at home, second barracks on the way. Hasn't been sending more Marines, realizing that this is going to die. And in fact, it will go down. But the SCV manages to get in there, scout the main base. He sees the Spire. He knows what's coming. Excellent play from Ssak. Just delaying this natural, slowing down Zelot. And this is exactly what you want to do versus Zelot. Just to throw a wrench into his game. Whatever kind of wacky game plan he has, whatever kind of sneaky build he's planning to go for, if you can just get in the way of that, if you can just prevent that from coming to fruition, then you're going to be in a very good spot against him. It's like one Marine, oh, not quite able to get that kill, loses a couple more Lings as well, doesn't have Ling speed. With all of the Lings that are out, you would think Ling speed would be a high priority, but seems like he's not interested in getting that. Instead, going to save up all his gas for a bunch of mutas. In fact, doesn't have many minerals though, and he only has 3 drones on the mineral patches at the natural, which tells me that he is going to all in. He is going to all in with his Mutalisk. There's no coming back from this, most likely, unless he gets a bunch of damage and starts making drones again. He needs to get that damage though. Otherwise, there will be no hope left in this game once the initial Mutalisk harassment fails. Let's see if he's able to get in there and really pull Ssak apart after taking that much damage. I don't think there's a lot of hope. Oh, he doesn't even have enough drones at the main base either. He's missing 1 drone at the main. So he is really struggling to build his Mutalisk count, right? The Mutalisks are coming out, but they're coming out slowly. And he actually needs an Overlord, which means this gas count is going to get even higher. He's going to have like 300-400 gas by the time he's able to make another Mutalisk. He does have a good number of mutas now. And range is not done. That is something to consider. He might be able to get this supply depot. Killing the supply depot would be good. Taking a little bit of damage on these mutas as he tries to knock down that supply depot. So close, he's just not going to commit for it yet. because the Marines stimmed and came forward, bringing together the rest of the mutas. He finally does pick that off. +1 is on the way. He's starting to bounce those glaives onto the bunker and some of the Marines as well. Getting some Marine kills is great. Pushing it back a little bit more. Still no more drones at all for Zealot. He's just making mutas, and he's gonna try and break this guy open. He kills both the supply depots. He's heavily supply blocked his opponent. The factory is on the way, but nothing can be made for quite some time. In fact, he's only making 1 supply depot, so this is going to be the opportunity that Zealot has been waiting for. He's looking for an opportunity to break Ssak open, and this is it. 4 turrets. God damn, 4 turrets is really tough to break through. He's gonna go for the main, where only 3 are done, but another one gonna come up in just a moment, and there it is, 3 turrets once again. He kills that 4th one. This is really the only location where he could possibly break through. We gotta start to take out some of these Marines so he can open up a location, a soft spot for Ssak. Trying to get in there. He's really trying to break this spot. He could loop back around. Now that he's killed a bunch of Marines, he could loop back around to the natural. Maybe try to kill the bunker and open up that spot. But he doesn't have that many links, and he doesn't have link speed, which is really going to prohibit him from utilizing those links properly. Okay, he kills 2 more turrets, but he loses a bunch of mutas. And a lot of these are very low. This is kind of the last hurrah for Zealot. If he can get in here and kill that last turret, maybe he can win this game, but it's getting dire. And another turret is about to finish up. He's got to get in here now. He's got to kill this right here, right now. Kill that turret. Stop it from coming up. Oh, he lets the turret come up. It gets a few more shots. Ssak is on top of keeping the secondary turret alive, and he's got another one in his mineral line. He's doing exactly what you should do as a Terran player in this situation, which is just keep building turrets non-stop. Surround your turrets, prevent them from going down, get those repairs going, because this is the last hope of Zealot. He's got to get in here now. He's got to kill these turrets. He's got to break this position open. He's got enough space where he can harass the SCVs, but he doesn't need SCV damage. He needs to break this base. He needs to win this right here and now. Overlord flies in to the mineral line, which means I don't think he has an Overlord in this group, and so he's just going to run the Mutalist forward on top of the Marines. He kills all the Marines, and he forces back. He forces Ssak back. Can he come back in and start to kill buildings now? He really needs to. Okay, he's going to go for the bunker instead. Bunker is going to go down. And the Lings are on top of that. Now they can go to work on these turrets. Once the turrets go down in the natural, he might be able to break through everything. The Valkyrie's almost out. He's got 2 Valkyries queued up right now. He needs those units to defend this base. A lot of SCVs are going to fall, and the natural has been broken, but can he actually snipe this? Oh, the Valkyrie's so close. 8 HP on that. 8 HP on that Valkyrie as it manages to slip away. More Marines are falling. He's going to go after the armory. Another Valkyrie is queued up, but he won't be able to queue any more Valkyries if he loses that one. Oh, the mutas fly in. They're taking so much damage from this Valkyrie and all the turrets. He flies out, but with almost no HP remaining on all of these mutas. Can he still make this work? Well, I think he's done enough damage to maybe start to drone out of this position, but I'm not 100% sure. It's going to be tough either way. He's killed the armory, and no more Valkyries can be made. That is an important fact. Oh my gosh, he's losing so many mutas. Ooh, it's so bad. I would have loved to see him just build some Scourge and then start droning again, but he's not doing that. He's losing the last few remaining mutas in this flock, and all the Valkyries finish them off. 2 Valkyries still alive. 2 Valkyries survive. I don't think that he's going to be able to do it, guys. I think that Ssak has held. He's done well enough. With 26 SCVs remaining, as long as he keeps these Valkyries alive and he moves his bioforces properly, he should be able to defeat. Should be able to beat Zealot in this game. Those 2 Valkyries are going to be prohibiting the Mutalisk defense from properly stopping this base from being retaken. He's gonna try and bait these Valkyries out. If he could just get a snipe on that. Oh, he gets one. That's huge. Oh, but he loses 2 Mutalisks because of that. Not great with the control. Looks like he had a mistake with his hotkeys there. Ends up losing that. Loses an Overlord as well, and now nearly supply blocked. He's still got some open supply. Whereas Ssak, on the other hand, just starts a supply depot now, and he's supply blocked, so that's bad. Not having open supply is really rough. Finally, Link Speed is done, so he can take this engagement, but he doesn't dive in. Gonna come around, looping around the side. Is he gonna go for this Valkyrie? It's so key that he ended up picking off that what's it called? Armory. He killed that armory, so he's been able to, or he's not been dealing with extra Valkyries coming out, but GG is called. He just can't get in there. He sees the other armory. He knows more Valkyries are on the way, and he hasn't made any effort to transition, so Zelot taps out. An intense 2 base Muta all-in, 2 hatch Muta all-in, barely survived by Ssak. That was a massive moment when he lost the armory. I thought maybe with a few Scourge coming in, if he could just snipe down those Valkyries and keep control over this high ground, prevent the base from being retaken, and continue to harass the SCVs, he was maybe going to be able to win this game. But Ssak, excellent defense, keeping those Valkyries alive. He wins game number 2, and we're going to go into a series now between Zelot and Scan. Guys, hold on to your butts. Here we go. Ssak managed to take down Zelot in his game, but will Scan be able to do the same? Here he is over in center right. Same map. Dominator. And opening up with a 12 pool. Interesting. 12 pool opener on the side of Zelot. I actually like this opener a lot. I've been doing it a lot. 12 gas coming online for him as well. And he'll be doing a 12 hatchery to follow this up. So as soon as this drone pops, he'll send it to the natural. This is a build that I picked up from Soma, and it's quite strong. Quite strong. Is good for a Mutalisk all-in. Definitely 2 hatch Mutal all-in is probably where this is gonna go. I'm not sure if there's another branch because I haven't followed. I haven't been checking all of the different ways that you can play out this 12 hatch. Or 12 pool, excuse me. 12 pool, 12 gas, 12 hatch. 12, 12, 12. I don't know if you can go into lurk or anything from this. I believe that's not the case. You can see he gets the very early layer. The layer is crazy quick, like 235. Mine usually comes down around 240. When I do this build, that's just because I'm a bit slow. Not quite as good at mineral boosting as someone like Zelot. Not quite as optimized. And so he's going to get that even faster before the SCV was able to get in, make the 4 lings. This is exactly right. This is exactly the way that Soma does it as well. Oh, nice trap there. Really nice trap on that SCV. Picking that off is essential to creating some ambiguity in this game. Maybe he is going to go for Hydralisk Den. He's not, guys, but maybe he is in the eyes of Scan. It's possible. There's a wall here. That would be a strong play to get a Hydralisk Den out, but no. The 3-minute 40 Spire is going to allow him to make mutas and hit before 6 minutes. A very quick Mutalisk timing be coming out, and we're probably just going to see the 3 drones for the natural minerals as in that previous game. So it just needs to make 1 more drone and then he's good. All he's going to do is make overlords, lings, and of course mutas to try and win this game. No, 4 more drones on the way, so a slight divergence from 2 hatch muta all in. He's going to add on more drones than expected, and we'll see how he wants to play this one. He's going to get a third base up somewhere, I imagine. The extra minerals doesn't really have anywhere to go. All you need to make pure Mutalisk on this on 2 hatcheries is 3 drones in this natural. That is all you need. So with 6 drones, he's going to quickly bank up minerals, and I assume that's going to be for an immediate third base. So as soon as the mutas start to pop out, we'll see a drone leave, take a third base somewhere, and he'll have an option to transition a little bit. I haven't even been paying attention to Scan's base during all this. In fact, Scan is opening with a factory play. He's got the vulture out. Looks like he's not going to come across, instead prioritizing killing off all the lings. And so the Sunken Colony will finish. Zelot really had no idea. He also wasn't paying attention to his opponent either. Not really figuring out what he was up to. But it's going to be fine. He gets this online. Has to use 1 drone, but he's still got 5. He's coming across the map now. There are Goliaths popping out, and we're going to see the 2 Hatchimuta go up against Goliath play. And really, there's not a good way for him to take this extra base. He really wants to go across the map and start to deal some damage if he can get in there. Another turret coming up. 2 more turrets in the main. Actually pulls off the turret to keep that alive. That was some good play by Scan. Even canceling. Very nice optimizations from Scan. A lot of players will just let the turret continue to build and lose that SCV on the outside. But he cancels the SCV off the turret and then drops it back onto the mineral line to keep that alive, and cancels the turret to get the money back. Really good stuff from him. Good opener so far from Scan. He is getting broken open though at this natural, and the Goliaths are a little bit slow to arrive. Garon Booster's not done. This is a good opportunity to get some damage. 2, 3 SCVs go down. He has to pull the workers out of the natural, and oh my goodness, is he getting a lot of damage here. Goliaths come up from behind. That Charon booster can't finish soon enough. 4 turrets at this natural, or at this main base though. Oh, takes a lot of damage and loses a couple of mutas on the escape, but I think that was worth it. He got a ton of SCV kills. And so Scan is hurting. He has to rebuild a bunch of these turrets. He's got the Goliaths in position though now. Oh gosh, he's just gonna go straight after the Goliaths. This is bad. Scan, he doesn't have the turrets done yet, so the turrets are not going to be there to help, and a bunch of Goliaths go down. A whole ton of Goliaths end up falling. The turrets are going to finish up, and he will push this back, but resetting the Goliath number is very nice for Zelot. He can just continue to produce masses upon masses of mutas. I guess there was maybe a run by with the vulture. He tried to run by and probably died. Keeping the vulture just at the third base, I think, is more worth it than trying to run by that. Trying to run by the Sunken Colony. Just seeing if there's going to be a third base or not is massive, massive information. It's so important. Oh my gosh, he's losing all of the Goliaths. The turrets go down as well. It looks like he's just barely going to break open this position once again. And the 2 factory Goliaths slowly filtering out against all of these mutas is just not working well for speed. It seems like he's going to be broken despite doing an excellent job in the early game. The turrets are just not enough, and Zelot has pulled him apart. Bouncing glaives off of these barracks, now diving back on top of the Goliaths once again. He actually needs a repair on some of these. Repair on these Goliaths would be very good, but he's 2-shotting them down with all of these mutas, and he's still got a full stack of 8, so able to one-shot these SCVs as he goes around ravaging this base. So few SCVs remain. He's going to transfer a few more out to this natural, try to get that income rolling and get some more turrets down. He hasn't been able to add on any more factories. He's finally going to get a 3rd factory, but this is just blood. It's just bleeding out SCVs this entire time. He needs more turrets. Even building turrets up there would be nice. At least the Goliaths have somewhere to stand. Building turrets out here is just too easy to snipe. Build turrets back here so that the Goliath can't be dove upon like he's gonna do right now. Just diving in, killing off all the Goliaths, and breaking the position wide opening. And he's got to pull the SCVs. And I think this is the final time. That's too many mutas, and in fact more drones have been added on as well throughout all this. Zelot doing an excellent job of getting those to mining while still keeping the rally point going of mutas over to this natural. It's so hard to not allow drones to just wander out while you're doing all this mutalist harassment. He's diving on the Goliaths again. I think this is checkmate. So many SCVs have gone down. So many Goliaths have gone down. The reset on the Goliath number over and over again is just too much. And Scan just can't get turrets online. He's got no money. He's finally gotten the 3rd factory up, but he should be on 5 factories by now. He should be building the 5 Goliaths at a time. He just can't afford to do so. He can't afford to get these turrets online either. He's almost losing his command center now. That's so super low, that command center. As the 3rd base is coming online and sunken colonies are going up on high ground, Scan is just desperate to get this natural base going. But he's losing even more SCVs, and he's going to drop below the worker count of the Zerg for the first time this game, down to just 26 total SCVs. And the turrets are just not coming. They're not forthcoming. Finally going to start another turret, but it's going to immediately be canceled and immediately be killed. Diving in on top of these Goliaths once again for what seems like the final time. It's been, I mean, Scan just barely holding on. And Zelot just almost breaking him over and over again. And I thought that Scan would have tapped out a long time ago. He's got to realize that his position is untenable at this point. Diving in again on top of these Goliaths, just going to go ahead and snipe 2 of them, open up the position to start to kill SCVs. Down to just 22 now. I can't believe Scan hasn't left this game. 4 bases online, and Scan just still fighting in the natural with Goliaths versus these mutas that just never seem to go away. They're always there, omnipresent, killing more SCVs and more SCVs every single time they come in. Doesn't matter how many mutalists he loses now, he will have more. And in fact, 20 supply ahead at this point. He's gonna have +1 armor online in a moment. Was never able to afford +1 attack. Scan just could not eke that out. Been struggling to just get turrets online this entire game. And failing to do so, he's just not going to be able to get this natural mining. Yeah, he's gonna mine out of his main before he gets the natural online. See, he's barely mined much of these mineral patches at all. And GG is called. The first game goes to Zelot. Scan having a hard time with the mech play, even against mutas of Zelot. I mean, it generally considered to be a more robust defense against 2-hatch muta, but Zelot able to break that open as well. Just more, even more of a testament to the play from Ssak, that he was able to stop this, that he was able to hold on against this. Will Scan be able to find a way to block the 2-hatch muta of Zelot? Will he switch it up? Maybe Zelot gonna try a different play for the rest of this series. Who knows? Let's jump into game number 2. All right, game number 2, we've got Zelot over in the top left and the Scan in the top right. There was some chatter between the two, but after translating and looking at the text, I really couldn't understand what they were saying. The only thing I could really glean from the messages was that they know who each other are. They're talking about rice or something and playing Starcraft. I don't know, something about, you know, be more polite. I don't understand it, but regardless, they know who each other are, which is kind of a big deal when the opponent is a barcode. When they're just a barcode, that's the point. That is the point of being a barcode, right? If you're a barcode, then you're trying to just not be known so that you can pull your do your funky stuff, right? As a Zealot, he's gonna pull out some funky builds. He has a certain way of playing. This time he's not going for the 12 pool. He's gone for a 12 hatch, 11 pool, 10 gas, and so, you know, playing a bit more of a normal style this time. We'll see if he still wants to go for some sort of Mutalisk play, Mutalisk all-in play, or if he wants to get aggressive with mutas or just kind of defend, maybe go into Lurker. I'm not sure what his plan is here. This is Pantheon, and just the one Marine coming across the map for Scan. Looks like he's going to open this similar to the way that Ssak did, right? He's going to try and put some pressure onto Zealot in this early game. 4 drones being pulled. Really doesn't want to allow that to happen. Gonna try to kill this SCV. SCV not gonna go down. Marine not gonna come forward just yet either. Like, he will get on top. Maybe try to bait these drones away for a second. Maybe he can get a kill. Does end up canceling. So he cancels and immediately throws down his command center. At least he got some lost mining time for those drones. Forced them out of the main for a little bit. Slowed things down slightly, and he didn't really lose too much. In fact, he doesn't lose hardly anything. Just gonna go back behind this wall. I'd say this is a win. This is a win for Scan. He forced, what is this? 8 lings? 10 lings? Even more? 12 lings. Oh my goodness, that is a lot of lings, guys. As long as Scan defends this properly. Oh, he's got to get in this gap. Where is the SCV for the gap? Uh-oh, I think he might just die. Scan had a good opener, but just a surprise Ling attack is going to end his game. Ling speed finishes up and GG is called. Wow, a quick one. A very quick one. Excellent response to that early aggression. Makes a bunch of Lings and goes across the map. If Scan had an SCV there and he just had a bunch of Marines sitting right behind it, he would have easily wrecked that. Easily wrecked that. Zealot would have been in such a bad economic position with only 12 drones, but that's not the way it goes. He ends up just having to tap out. Game number 2, very fast as we jump into game number 3. Scan comes out guns blazing in game number 2 and gets stomped down by Zealot immediately, and now things are deadly quiet in the chat. A silence hangs over the opening parts of this game. I think we're getting serious now. Scan might be a little bit frustrated after that last game. And even game number 1 would be incredibly frustrating, I'd say. Just keep building Goliaths over and over again into mutas, killing off all your stuff. I think he might have been a bit tilted, and I can't blame him. But going into game number 3, what will Scan do to try and throw Zealot off? Because he really does. He needs to throw Zealot off in the early game. I think the play last game was great. I think it was a fantastic idea to get over there and force out a bunch of Lings and, you know, push the drones, force the drones off the line and all that good stuff. It's just the defense wasn't there. If he had the defense in position, he absolutely would have been in an amazing spot and probably would have won that game. But I don't know if he's going to go for a play like that again. He could, absolutely. But he started out with a barracks on high ground, which it's not in a position where you can, I don't think you can actually get a barracks plus factory on this position. I think it's actually usually in top right position, but you have like factory and barracks next to each other. You can get a full wall, but he hasn't gotten the gas. I don't know if you can do it here. I'm not an expert on Terran wall-ins. I haven't played Terran for a very long time, so I'm not 100%. It's not going to be that style, though. That I know for sure. SCV gonna come over and immediately find the natural, so he might be able to, you know, put some pressure on once again. He might be able to. Okay, he starts the command center immediately, so he's not going to build a bunker, but he could build a bunker. Lings are already on the way though. If the Ling's coming up, there's really no point in doing that. He managed to deal some damage to this Overlord. He's almost actually killing this Overlord, just barely not though. Supply depot in the front rather than a bunker. 4 Lings gonna pop out. You should have seen at least 2 of those. And it's just gonna be full dronage from this spot for, oh, actually 6 Lings. 6 Lings on the way. That is a serious threat. Can't take that lightly. Maybe stand on the ramp. Okay, he's gonna stand behind this SCV. Let's see how this goes. Lings are just gonna come right on in here. 5 Marines. Can he actually hold this? Oh, Lings are gonna get right on top of that. If he target fires properly, good pullback there on the 1 Marine. Pulling that back, but the Ling comes in from behind and finishes it off. Still gonna lose that fight. Zealot gets forced away with only 1 Ling remaining and only 2 kills for 6 Lings. Not the greatest engagement there for Zealot, and some pretty good micro out of Scan to secure a small early game lead. He can absolutely push out with his Marines now if he wanted to. He sees that it's just drones popping. Only drones are on the way. If he wanted to go across and put some real pressure on, it would be possible. However, look at that. 6 pairs of Lings. 12 Lings are gonna pop out. And so if he had pushed out like I thought he might, and maybe Zealot thought he might as well, he would have been absolutely slapped down. As it stands though, he's going to be sitting in a nice arc in this wall. And it will be difficult to get in here and break this. However, this is not a lot of Marines. His Marine number is very low. This is only 7 Marines. 7 Marines versus 12 Lings, and more Lings on the way. This is gonna be hard. Can he actually save himself here? He's gonna have to pull SCVs to the ramp and actually get on top of this. Yes, beautiful pull onto the ramp. However, the Lings are gonna slip by this. He's gonna kill every Ling, I think. Oh, the medic came out at the perfect time. That medic timing was amazing. He loses all of the Marines, but all the Lings are gone as well. 1 Ling remains. He just needs to get 1 hit, 1 attack onto that. More Lings gonna slip by. Uh-oh. These Lings are a problem. I'm gonna jump on top of the Marines as they're popping out. Turret is coming up, but yeah, he's gonna be able to block these turrets from finishing. More Marines come out. SCV goes down. But a few SCVs fall, in fact, and the Mutas are on the way. He needs turrets in the main. He needs turrets in the main now. This turret is gonna be targeted down. Uh-oh. Oh, God, Scan. I think he might be able to break you here. That Marine is going to go down immediately. No shot for that Marine to survive. Mita accidentally being sent in on top of the barracks. He just needs to kill this 1 turret. That 1 turret going to go down. He's not finishing it. Okay, he does finish it, and he gets the surround on it to keep it alive. That's very important. The 4th barracks might finish up. Oh! Muta's just coming in on the rally, end up losing almost all of their HP. But he's still got enough possibly to break this. Depends on how the turret target fires. It does target down 1 of the low Mutas, so he's only got 7 remaining, but 2 more arrive. All the medics go down. Oh, the medics. 3 medics in a row. Oh, Scan, you needed those medics so badly. He needs to only be producing Marines. He's gonna dive on top of that missile turret. I think that Zealot is gonna do it again. The Ling attack into Mutalist follow-up is just a bit too strong from him, and GG is called. Wow, how did he manage to pump 12 Lings early? Oh, he doesn't have any drones in the main, that's why. So he really doesn't have a lot of drones here, guys. He's got even less than you need to produce non-stop Mutas. So he just barely cracks open Scan there, almost making a mistake by having the rally point set on top of those turrets and losing too many mutas. He might have, you know, been held, but Scan just barely not able to keep it together. The snipes on the medics was so key as well. Very, very close game overall. But again, Zelot takes out Scan. It's getting a little bit sad at this point. How many games is Zelot gonna win in a row versus Scan with these early game shenanigans? I imagine there's gonna be at least one or two more. But hopefully Scan will be able to take a game off of him. Let's find out. Zelot, yellow Zerg, top right hand corner. Scan, the white Terran player. He's been having a hard time so far. See if he's able to get a win finally against Zelot. Maybe the little bit of white privilege is what he needs. Maybe that white color is going to help him out. Help him to gain victory in this match. White privilege in Starcraft is about as real as white privilege in reality. We've got the first SCV. Gonna go out and scout. Let's see if you can find the cross map position of Zelot early on here and maybe get a bunker down. I keep saying it, guys. He's got to get over here. He's got to get over here and do some damage to Zelot early on. The Zelot is doing such a good job of just pulling him apart every single game. The defense has to be perfect. The defense has to be perfect after you deal the damage as well. You can't just deal the damage and then not defend properly. You can't just defend properly and not deal the damage. You got to do both. Put some damage on this guy. Slow him down just slightly. Put him off his game and then defend like an absolute wall. You have to be a brick wall as a Terran player after that. And even then, he's going to try and crumble you. And it's going to be difficult to hold on, but look at this. Only drones being made. Okay, one set of lings is made for Zelot. So he's going to take advantage of the fact he just found Scan down in bottom left. He knows that it's a long push distance. For these Marines, it's going to take a long time for them to get over here. So as long as he keeps an eye on those Marines and knows if they're actually going to come across the map or not, he should be able to maximize his drone production. And maybe come out with a few extra drones in this early game while he gets into his Mutalist play. I'm gonna make a second set of lings. You know, this SCV getting in there and spotting what appears to be only 2 lings on the defensive is... It's a little bit worrisome. It makes it possible that Scan could come across the map with these naked Marines, right? He doesn't have anything in front of the natural. He has no idea where the Marines are. If 5 Marines suddenly showed up in his natural, he would be in a lot of trouble. That's not going to be the case. The Marines are in this natural, and Zelot sees it. He knows about it. +1 build from Scan. Gets that eBay nice and early. That means his stim and range will be slightly behind curve. But he will have a nice mid-game timing if he makes it that far. Let's preface with that. That is not a guarantee, for sure. 4 lings coming up to the front. They're going to spot these 4 Marines. Not funny to be moving out with just 4 Marines. Leaving the medic behind. Third base is on the way. Quite a few drones at this natural this time around. Zelot not going to be relying purely on Mutalisks to win this game. He is going to have some amount of economy behind this play. Is this Is it time for Guardians? I think so, guys. Carapace upgrade is coming in the production tab. Once he hits that middle part of the Carapace upgrade, if he hits 50% Carapace and there's no Queen's Nest, then maybe it's not going to happen, but expect a Queen's Nest to come into that production tab as the Carapace upgrade progresses. I wonder how this is going to do against 4 racks +1. I think it should be a pretty reasonable play. You're going to be waiting a lot longer. Oh gosh, and he's actually going to get on top of the turret before it finishes. Well, the turret does finish in the end, but he loses a Marine. There it is. Queen's Nest on the way. This is definitely going to be a Guardian play. 100% confirmed at this point. Let's see how long it takes for Scan to figure that out. When is he going to get the information that he needs? Because he absolutely has to put down a factory. Okay, there's the factory on the way. Factory coming up now. 2 queens as well. Oh, goodness me. That is interesting. 3rd base has been scanned. You'll love to see it. Is he going to go for Ensnare to buy himself some time? I think we might. I think we might see Ensnare come up. He's being so passive with these mutas. You got to start to be a little bit suspicious as Scan. What exactly are you up to? You're not trying to kill my SCVs and just keeping these mutalisks at high health. Sniping down as many Marines as possible. This is looking like a Guardian play just from the way that Zealot is telegraphing. The scans come down. He sees the Queen's Nest is out, and he knows now. With the Hive on the way, this is going to be a Guardian play. Double starport and a armory start. He's gonna try and Valkyrie his way out of this. Now, Valkyrie's not exactly the best, in my opinion, against a play like this. Okay, here we go. Queens. They're gonna go for the Ensnare. Could get a mega Ensnare on this if he wanted to go for it. Ensnare basically negates the advantage of Stim. It halves your attack speed, and it halves your movement speed as well, I think. So the Marines are going to be acting like they're unstimmed Marines, even though they're lower on that HP because of the Stim. Another Ensnare going to come down, I think. Could go for it again. Now that the Marines have already been ensnared, they're easier to hit with that spell, funnily enough. He's gonna have enough for like chaining ensnares basically on this army, and just ensnare again and again. +1 is done. +1 armor is on the way. Hydra's Den is about to finish up, and the Greater Spire is coming online as well. Here's the Ensnare again. Oh, runs forward and snipes down the Queen. The Ensnare misses the majority of the Marines. That was a good move from Scan. Getting rid of that threat, that annoyance of the Queen. A lot of Marines have been dying though, and the Muta's number is still very high. He's been pulling out Mutas that are low on HP throughout these fights, and he's ready to start morphing Guardians here in a moment and pull some more Mutas together. He's got to switch out this Overlord though. The Overlord is a bit too close. He's gonna end up losing that for sure. There's the Queen pulling back away now. Guardians are going to be morphed, I think, closer to the middle of the map as these Mutalisks shark around looking for some kills. Is he going to be able to get on top of these Guardians before they morph? This is the scary moment. Queens should be there to buy some time, and Ensnare would be amazing. to slow down these Marines coming across the map. He dives in with the mutas just to buy a few precious seconds. He loses Overlords, though. He's going to lose 2 more Overlords. Oh boy, that is so much Overlord damage. Dropping down to a dismal supply count. And really can't make anything except for Guardians now. That is the only thing he can make. Good thing he's got Guardian Tech. He has at least something to build. Devour is going to come out as well. The Valkyries getting into position to maybe blast down those Guardians. The Hydras have to be ready to assist. You've got to be targeting down the Valkyries with the Hydras. It's a very difficult balancing act. 4 or 5 Marines go up to the top right hand or top left hand corner. He's going to attack this base. Mutas are headed that direction as well, but the Valkyries will cut them off. Actually needs to kill these Marines. Oh, the Mutas are all going to die. He's going for the counter, but this is beautifully done by Scan, sending the bare minimum to actually kill this base. Guardians are going on the counter attack. Can he actually win right here, right now? Where is that Queen? The Queen is with these Hydras over in top left. But the Marines are going to start to run forward. Here's all the Guardians fighting this back. There's only 2 Valkyries in this fight. Okay, 4 more Valkyries come from the left-hand side. The Marines are getting wiped out, but the Guardian number is getting cleaned up, and Marines can always be rebuilt. The Guardians, unlikely going to have that same privilege. It feels like Scan has just about done it here. That Devour not adding enough to this army. The Hydras need to run forward and snipe down some of these Valkyries. They're only getting a couple before being driven back. Guardian number is so low, but once these 3 more pop out, I think he's going to have one final opportunity to maybe push in, but that is a lot of Marines. The Hydras cannot stand against this. If the Valkyries manage to pick everything off. Oh my gosh, he loses the Valkyries. Wait a second. What? Scan, no. Scan, has he thrown this game? He lost all the Valkyries. The Hydras are going to tank, and the Guardians will deal the damage. Hydra Guardian is pretty darn good versus Marines, and he is going to be able to clean through this. So many more Hydras are coming up for reinforcement, and the Guardians are all still alive. If the Valkyries had been part of that fight rather than just throwing themselves in and dying before it, he would have been fine, but now he's waiting on Irradiate. He doesn't have it online yet. Scan, he's thrown this game. He was so close to a victory here, but he's losing all of his Marines on the ramp, and he taps out. Oh, Scan, why? You were doing so well, my friend. Oh, it hurts. It hurts. These are the type of losses that make you just want to quit StarCraft forever. I feel the pain through the screen. Scan losing control of his Valkyries just for a couple of seconds and losing all of those incredibly important units. And has to tap out again with another loss here. We've got another game, but Scan has to be mentally broken at this point. I hope he's able to win this next one, but I'm not too optimistic on that fact, guys. Let's jump into this game. See if Scan can pull himself together to make it happen. Zealot putting the fear of God into Scan with that last game. The Guardian play looks so powerful in Zealot's hands, even though Scan managed to get out on the map and force the Guardians to be morphed very far back, and even killed all the drones at the 3rd base with a minimal commitment of Marines. Wasn't able to hold on against that overwhelming pressure coming out of Zealot. I mean, ugh. What do I even say about that last game? I guess we just need to move on. Forget about it. know that everything was going pretty darn well until that last move. And try not to make a mistake like that again in the future. Gonna open up with a 1-Rax fast expand. I'm surprised that we haven't seen Scan at least throw an 8-Rax out there somewhere in this series, but he's going to stick to his guns. Maybe get a Marine out here. Try to set up a bunker at the natural. I hope he does something like that because he really needs a little bit of an advantage. He needs something. He needs to get something going. He wants to take a game off of Zelot this series. First Marine is heading across the map. One drone out in the natural. He's prepared to start harassing that bunker. At least that SCV that's building the bunker at the natural, but doesn't seem like Scan is gearing up for that at all. He's instead going to just try to push this SCV, or to try to push this drone away from the natural. That's his main goal. Just hit that a couple times. Yeah, and now go home. Time to run away. And so that Marine will head back home. Let's change the colors actually. We got the red Zerg and the blue Terran. I'm not a big fan of brown in Starcraft 1. That's not because I am against brown at all. Brown Terran. If you're brown out there, don't take offense. It's just because brown just sucks. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's just terrible for the mini map. Putting the comma in there is just my way of trolling. Excuse me, guys. Excuse me. We've got a Hydroden. Yes, let's go. Hydroden on the way. Finally, gonna get a lurker play. All right, all right. You hardly ever see it anymore. It's not very popular in the current meta. Oh, SCV, he gets it. Very important. Sniping down that SCV. Could have, of course, pulled a drone. Pulled a drone over to that natural, just blocked the ramp, but instead he manages to snipe that down, and Hydra play goes unscouted. Hydra's on the way already. The lurker upgrade gonna be finishing soon. One of the reasons why lurker play isn't very popular anymore is because 2-Rax Marine kind of shuts it down, right? The Academy Rush, you get out before 6 minutes, like, or even before 5 minutes. So you're moving out around like 450 with the 2-Rax. You'll have a couple of medics and maybe, you know, 6 to 8 Marines. But so like lurkers morphing right now, you're just gonna walk out with the 2-Rax and just kill this, right? It's not the greatest. Oh, he's gonna kill it. He's scouted the main. He saw the Hydra stand. He kills his comsat. He's gonna kill this because when you remake your comsat, you get 50 energy. So it costs money and it stops you from building SCVs, but you'll get a faster secondary scan. Very important that he has scan during this next phase because he needs it just to survive. He's gonna lose these 2 supply depots for sure, but building 2 bunkers might allow him to live. Might just barely allow him to live. He threw out another scan, which is kind of shocking. A little bit surprised to see him scan again before this lurker attack comes in. Focusing down a lurker. He does get 1. Not bad, not bad. Will he lose some Marines there on the retreat? He does. A lot of these lurkers are in range. If he had another scan, oh, he does. He does have another scan. Come on, throw it down. You'll kill this lurker for sure. That 1 lurker is gonna die. And he just needs to buy time for range. Range is late. This is the +1 build. It's not the 2-Rax. And so 2-Rax Academy Rush. So he is going to take some time. He's going to take some damage. As soon as range is done though, he can scan and push these back. So it's not working out the greatest for Zelot, but I'm sure he's got a follow-up that's going to be strong. He's going for double evolution chamber. This is going to be a Hydraless play. Mass Hydraless is what we can expect out of Zelot from this position. Running back with the lurkers. He knows that that scan will run out, and he's been waiting on scans, so he's not going to have a second one for some time. Looks like that scan just going to finish up now. Oh, getting on the high ground. Scan spreads out his Marines. He's trying to break this already, but it's not going the greatest. In fact, he'll lose nearly all of his Marines for one lurker. 7 kills on that lurker. I think that was a little bit unjustified for Scan to pull a move like that, man. These bunkers have nothing in them. If Zelot just ran up and burrowed next to the or go behind the mineral patches or something, this would be a nightmare for Scan, but he decides to play a little bit more conservatively. And so drones are popping out, more hatches on the way. Mass Hydra, maybe drop might come out from Scan after, or from Zelot after this. 2 Marines and 2 medics heading around the top side of the map. Maybe able to get some kills over at this base, but yeah, with no Hydras at all. No units, in fact. Okay, there's 2 Hydras. 2 Hydras are going to head over towards the center left. Oh, they're not. They're actually going to be pulled back. Maybe this is the momentum shift that Scan needs. Zelot is being massively greedy. He's being huge greed. The way that he's building up his drone count. Not really going for anything aside from just drones, patches, and upgrades. And so there's a possibility he gets a bunch of drones, because it looks like he's gonna pull the drones and try to fight. I think that's what we're gonna see. More Hydras pop out. Once he gets like 5 or 6 Hydras together, he can target down the Marines. But just to save this hatchery, Vulture's coming out. He's switching into mech play coming for Scan. There we go. With 4 Hydras, he can target down those Marines one at a time. And it deals with that bit of a nuisance there from Scan. Those 2 Marines that managed to slip out on the map. Now some Vultures are going to get out on the map. And hopefully Zelot spotted that. A lot of lurkers being made. Yeah, he's going to cancel. Definitely a good idea there to cancel those lurkers, because once you find out that your opponent is going for mech, lurker is just not going to be the ticket. Tanks are going to be coming out soon. And of course, Vultures can just run by lurkers, so you need to have Hydras ready to stop these Vultures from harassing your drones, and also to clear out mines, which are inevitably going to be thrown out on the map. Drones are going to be pulled back. Only a couple of kills there, and a couple of Vultures go down, so pretty decent defense so far from Zelot. But this is going to be a wacky game. It's going to be an extremely weird and wacky game. I think that's a mistake. I don't think you want that upgraded right now. Maybe he was trying to get Overlord speed. I actually put this upgrade on like M or something like that, so it's all the way across the keyboard on the other side, and that way I never accidentally click it, which I think is what happened. My gosh, that was close to a mine connection. Looks like these mines will connect on some of these Hydras, killing off a bunch of them. Some Vultures still out on the map. Could be useful in preventing bases going up in the top left, because eventually Zelot will want to get even more bases online as Scan slowly pushes out and takes the center right. You definitely don't want to be sitting here on even bases with the Terran who's going into mech. In fact, he's not going to go fully into mech. He's going to go 2 factory and then all Marines. 2 factory tank into Marine play, which is an interesting choice. That's going to make lurkers actually necessary once again, so he's going to make some. They are in range of this tank, though. He's going to have to cancel. That loses a lot of gas. That's a big waste of gas for Zelot, but the way that he's droned up this game and how much macro he's actually going to be spitting, it's not the biggest deal. He is going to have so many Hydras, it's going to be silly. Just super silly here in a moment. He's already got +1/1. He already got 1/1. He's going to have 2/2 soon. Only +2 attack is coming on for these Marines, and there's no... Okay, actually, he did get attack for the tanks. That's actually very important. That extra 5 damage, it means a lot, especially when you're splashing down big chunks of Hydras. It feels like... Oh, Queen's gonna come online. Broodling is being researched. A Lurker here will end up getting picked off. These Hydras should all die. He's trying to prevent the third base for as long as possible, but eventually these Hydras are just going to be sacrificial. Pushing through, actually clearing out some mines. He's going to hit this army from behind. Eventually that is going to get cleaned up though. And there it is. Everything goes down. And Scan will be able to take that third now. See how many Hydras he has out on the map. He's got big clumps of Hydras spread out, ready to take on this fight. But I tell you what, if this army is sieged and ready to fight when the Hydras and Lurkers come running in, it is going to be a bloodbath in Scan's favor. Scan is going to take a pretty much an instant victory in that case. I think it should be pretty one-sided. Gonna jump forward and tries to kill one tank, but a great D-Matrix there. I think he still gets it. Yeah, he will get that kill. The tank was a bit too low when the D-Matrix came in, but he did manage to slow down the kills there from those Hydras on the tanks, and coming in from the back is not a good plan. Does want to get in the rally point or the rally path of this army if possible. Ensnare is coming up because he realizes he's not gonna have time to wait probably for that all-important Broodling to finally come online. Instead, he's going to have +2/+2, a ton of Hydras. Where are all the Hydras? He's got 1,400 minerals. Wait a minute, he's kind of lapsed on his production. So many larvae have just gone unused. 1,400 minerals, man. You could have so many Hydras at this point in the game, and he's actually almost supply block. Can't even make Lurkers right now. This is a big problem. I feel like Zealot has faltered, and as this fight comes in, the tanks are going to take great trades. Lurker's going to come running in from behind, but they can't really do too much. The Queens drop the Ensnare on the front, but the Lurker's coming in a little bit too late. These tanks are going to be able to clean those out, no problem. Hydras are just not in high enough number. This is a very faulty defense from Zealot. And I think that Scan has finally found himself in a game that he can win. Another Irradiate goes down, this time on one of those Queens. There's enough for Broodling now. He could Broodling, but does he have enough to hold back the overwhelming Marine number at the end? After these Broodlings go down, he gets 3. He could get a 4th. No, he's gonna get an Ensnare on the Marines at the front, but the Lurkers are all dead. Hydras are popping out in low numbers. 12 more are on the way, but they're just not here in time. Hydras running out and dying for free. And there it is. Zealot taps with 1,500 minerals in the bank. I know it's hard to macro out big groups of Hydras to stop something like this, but I feel that Zealot really faltered in this game. He missed out on building more hatcheries, and he must have missed several macro cycles. That's a hard line to get out, but there it is. We did it, guys. We made it to the end of this series. Zealot finally losing a game against Scan. Scan, that's gotta feel good. That has got to feel good, even though it's clear that Zealot kind of messed up. It's still a great feeling to, in the end, take a game off of this monstrous aggressive Zerg player. Looking really, really strong. Looking forward to more Zealot games in the future, guys. If you like this video, make sure to hit the like button. Subscribe as well. I'll see you in the next one.